The domain name system or DNS is like the phone book of the internet. Its primary function is to translate human-readable names into machine-friendly addresses, like www.cyberdns.vn to the IP address of the server that hosts that site. So, how DNS works? A lot of work happens under the covers when a DNS name is resolved. Let's consider what happens when a user tries to open a web page such as cyberdns.vn from their laptop. It makes a DNS query to figure out which unique IP address is associated with that hostname. First, it'll attempt to look in the local browser or operating system cache. But if the cache is empty, then we need to look up the IP address in the phone book, which is the job of a server known as the DNS recursive resolver. The recursive DNS server sends a query for cyberdns.vn to one of the internet root servers. Root server is the top or the root of the DNS hierarchy. There are 13 sets of these root servers strategically placed around the world, operated by 12 different organizations. Hey root, do you know what is the IP address of cyberdns.vn? I don't know, but I will direct you to TLD servers. The root server returns a delegation for VN. The recursive DNS server sends a query for cyberdns.vn to an authoritative server for VN, a TLD. In the DNS hierarchy, a top-level domain, TLD, represents the first stop after the root zone. In simpler terms, a TLD is everything that follows the final dot of a domain name. Hey TLD. What is the IP address for cyberdns.vn? I don't know, but I will direct you to authoritative servers. The VN server returns a delegation for cyberdns.vn. The recursive DNS server sends a query for cyberdns.vn to an authoritative server for cyberdns.vn. Authoritative name servers generally answer DNS queries only for the specific zones they are authoritative for, including IP address. Hey authoritative name server. What is the IP address for cyberdns.vn? The cyberdns.vn server returns the answer, address records for cyberdns.vn. The recursive DNS server sends the answer back to the user's laptop, and storing the answer in the cache of the recursive DNS. It's important to note that once the resolver receives the IP address, it will store it in its cache memory in case it receives another query for cyberdns.vn. So it doesn't have to go through all those steps again. Now, the browser makes a HTTP request to the IP address of cyberdns.vn. And the web server returns the web page to be rendered in the browser.